Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. I'm JP, and this is Good Talk HQ. In today's episode, we'll take a look at 15 great games that you can buy right now for under $5. I hope your backlog has its backlog ready. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to become part of our extended family. We'd love to welcome you. We cover Nintendo Switch content weekly, and we even do live streams with our viewers, so we can all hang out and play some video games. On top of that, we do eSHOP gift card giveaways as well for our subscribers. Just be sure to sub, like the video, and leave a comment below so I can find you and put you on our list. And if you've been here before, as always, we can't thank you enough. You've made this entire journey wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright folks, without any further ado, let's jump into today's list and try to find some deals. Alright, and we'll start off with Akuto Showdown. This is a party-style fighting game from Cubic Games, with local multiplayer available for 1 to 4 players. The game is very similar to something like Boomerang Fu, as far as appearance and sound, which is a good thing to us of course. In this one though, you have a wide variety of weapons to choose from, including both melee and ranged weapons. The game is of course designed with groups of people playing together in mind, but they also have the local bots, just like with Boomerang Fu, so if you're wanting to play solo, you'll be okay. You'll compete for the most kills until a set score limit, and it's a blast. If you want a fun party style game, Akuto Showdown is on sale until July 27th for just $1.99, marked down 75%. Alright, next up we have Blazing Beaks. This is a twin stick shooter, once again from Cubic Games, designed for 1 to 4 players in local co-op with the main campaign that will take players roughly 10 to 12 hours to complete. This game puts a comedic spin on the genre and doesn't take itself too seriously, and while the name is unassuming, the game is actually pretty great. You have 10 playable characters, a few different game modes, all of which can be played by yourself or with a group of friends locally. The dungeons are randomly generated to keep things fresh, and there are loads of upgrades to find, but be careful, greed is a dangerous thing in this game. So if you like games like Enter the Gungeon, you'll probably have a good time with this one as well. It's not as tough, but it's definitely not easy either. Make sure to give this one a look while on sale until July 27th for just $1.99, marked down 87%. Alright, next up we have Deadly Days. This is a single-player strategy game from publisher Assemble Entertainment and offers a main story campaign that will take players roughly 8 hours or so to complete. This is a unique game set in a zombie apocalypse and has us take control of a group of survivors who must scavenge for food, find supplies, all while in a constant struggle to stay alive day to day. As you become a stronger group, you'll eventually seek the source of the outbreak and attempt to put an end to the invasion. The cast of playable characters is large and varied, each with special skills and attacks. The cities and missions are procedurally generated to keep things fresh, and the pixel art is once again top notch. You'll be able to get Deadly Days right now on sale at an all-time low until July 21st, marked down 80% to just $3.79. Alright, next up we have Dex. This is a single-player 2D action RPG, once again published by Cubic Games, and offers a main story that will take players roughly 10 or 15 hours to complete. Dex features deep RPG mechanics mixed with side-scrolling 2D action. I love games that offer dialogue choices as it makes you feel a bit more involved in the outcome, and this game did a great job on that end. Another great thing about Dex is that it gives you a bit of freedom in how you play. You can choose to go full stealth, full combat, or even try to talk your way through sticky situations. There's a lot of content here, and this is a great side scroller. Make sure to check this one out before July 27th, marked down 90% to an all-time low of just $1.99. Alright, next up we have Elden, Path of the Forgotten. This is a single-player adventure game featuring a pixel art aesthetic and an isometric top-down view. The game was published by another indie studio and offers a main story that will take players roughly 2 or 3 hours to complete. It's kinda hard to say though because it's a unique game. The developer said it was made to recreate the feeling he had when he left home at a young age and how he felt lost in an unforgiving world. With that in mind, there's no quest markers, no waypoints, no tutorials of any kind. You're meant to figure everything out on your own. This is a game that you'll either love or hate, but if it looks interesting to you, make sure to grab it up before July 26th for $3.99, marked down 75% to an all-time low. Alright, next up we have Firework. This is a retro 2D platformer from publisher Fantastico Studios and offers both single-player and local co-op for 2 players with a story that will last roughly 3 or 4 hours. Fans of the Mega Man series should definitely give this one a shot. Players will make their way through the main facility of the fire troops. You'll jump, dash, and blast your way through several platform challenges while extinguishing the flames and taking out the bad guys. There are even hidden power-ups and special item upgrades to be found for those willing to explore a bit. If you're interested in Firework, make sure to grab this one up before July 18th for just $1.99, marked down 87%. Alright, next up we have The Flame and the Flood, the Complete Edition. This is a single-player adventure game with a pixel art aesthetic and a transformative soundtrack. Published by Curve Digital, this one offers a main story that will last players more than 15 hours, even more for completionists. You'll travel both on foot and by raft as a young girl with her canine pal down a procedurally generated river. Players will need to gather materials, craft tools, and keep themselves in good health in the harsh wilderness. You'll also have to learn to deal with the wildlife, as not all animals you'll come across are friendly. The Switch version features all of the enhancements that were made over time, and the game is definitely worth checking out while on sale until July 23rd, marked down 75% to just $374, which again is an all-time low. Alright, next up we have Goblin Sword. This is a single-player retro-inspired action platformer from Gelato Games with a story that should take players roughly 10 or 12 hours to wrap up. In Goblin Sword, an army of monsters led by an evil wizard have begun to overrun your hometown. Players will explore more than 80 levels and face off against more than 10 epic boss battles. The game is loaded with hidden secrets and relics to be found, all which will allow the player to upgrade their abilities and skills. There's even a cool souvenir mechanic which will allow players to decorate their home with the items they find along their journey. If you're looking for a fun retro platformer, make sure to grab this one up before July 29th, marked down 60% to just $199. Next up we have Haunted Halloween 86. This is a single-player 8-bit platforming beat-em-up developed by Retrotainment Games and was originally made as an original NES homebrew. It was released in 2016 and has since been ported over to the Switch. The main story would take players roughly 4 or 5 hours to complete and centers around 2 children from a small town called Possum Hollow. These 2 children wander off into a seemingly abandoned farmhouse on Halloween night, only the house isn't empty and the 2 children are trapped in a nightmarish dungeon under the creepy house and must find a way to break out and make their way home. The game offers 7 unique levels, a fun combat system, and an awesome chiptune soundtrack. Fans of old school NES adventure titles should definitely consider picking this one up before July 18th, marked down 50% to just $499. Alright, next up we have Hell Warders. This is a 3D action RPG developed by Anti-Gravity Game Studios, available in either single-player offline mode or online for up to 4 players, and the main story should take players roughly 10 hours or so to wrap up. This is an awesome wave-based tower defense style game, and at release it had some major issues with performance and connectivity online. However, the developers have worked hard to patch it up over time, and the game currently runs great both online and by yourself. The game really shines in online though. With 4 people, you can combine forces and face off against the legions of hell. Upon completion of each stage, players are awarded with beacons which will be used to upgrade your skills and unlock new powerful artifacts, both of which will be needed to face off against the toughest of demons. If you're looking for a great online option with friends at a budget price, make sure you check out Hell Warders, on sale until July 16th for $299, marked down 80%. Alright, next up we have Koloro. This is a 2D puzzle platformer, once again published by Cubic Games, and offers both single player and local co-op for up to 2 players, with a story that will last roughly 8 or 10 hours or so. The story follows a young girl named Cora on a quest to find her missing sister. Now this game features simple one-button control schemes, making it easy for younger gamers to pick up, and the soundtrack was top-notch once again, adding to the level of immersion. Koloro offers more than 300 levels and some epic boss battles, all playable in co-op, which I always appreciate. Now the game is mostly a pretty peaceful experience, but if you want to add some stress to yourself, you can do the time trial challenges and try to beat your best times. So if you're looking for a solid puzzle game, make sure to check this one out before July 27th, marked down 80% to just $199. Alright, next up we have Manaspark and the DLC. This is an awesome retro-style RPG with a top-down view, again published by Cubic Games, and offers a main story that will last players roughly 10 or 15 hours. Now the DLC adds a new dungeon and some new bosses, so the playtime is improved significantly if you choose to buy them together, which I would definitely recommend. Right now together they're at an all-time low of $398. I had a blast with this game, and the challenge is what keeps you wanting to come back for just one more round. I found the original game to have plenty of variety and content on offer, but with the DLC you get even more. Like I said, the new dungeon, the new playable characters, but perhaps the best part is the local co-op. Unfortunately, it's more like the Sonic games where you just kind of play as a secondary character and complement player 1. Still though, this is a great value when bundled together like this, and it's on sale until July 27th, marked down 80% for just $398 combined. Alright, next up we have Smoke and Sacrifice. This is a single-player narrative-driven RPG from Curve Digital with a main story that will last roughly 15 to 20 hours. Players will have to craft, fight, survive, and explore the huge open world in this beautifully hand-painted adventure with some unique characters. all of whom have a story to tell. The story follows a young mother who had to sacrifice her firstborn child to the sun tree. This is a tree that replaced the actual sunlight. Players will set off on a mission to uncover the dark secrets of what has actually happened to her son. The game features beautiful graphics and an outstanding soundtrack. The story is engaging and the controls are straightforward. If this looks like a game you're interested in, make sure to grab it up before July 23rd, marked down to just $4.99, 75% off. Alright, next up we have Tiny Lands. This is an extremely peaceful puzzle game, once again from Cubic Games, and offers a single player experience that will last roughly 4 or 5 hours. Do you remember those old books where you'd have two images side by side and you have to spot the differences? This is pretty much the same thing, just in moving, living worlds. You'll have two diorama style mini worlds side by side, and you can rotate around the camera and get different views, and you have to spot the differences. Now while this sounds simple, and it pretty much is, the game is a wonderful experience. The music is outstanding and has a tendency to just pull you in. Sometimes I just stare at the mini levels and watch and listen. The game is also one of the best games for a quick session right before bed to unwind after a long day. If you're looking for a great little puzzle game, please consider Tiny Lands while it's on sale until July 27th, marked down 33% to just $3.99. Alright, next up we have Toby, The Secret Mine. This is a single player 2D puzzle platformer published by Head Up Games and offers about 3 or 4 hours of main story gameplay. There really isn't much story to speak of. At the beginning we see our sibling being kidnapped by a red-eyed mysterious creature, and that pretty much is the only motivation we need to set off on our adventure. The graphical style used here immediately reminded me of Limbo, which is another great side-scroller. Now as far as the gameplay, it was a pretty fun time. There are plenty of different puzzles to keep your brain working, and the controls were great, which is arguably the most important part of any platformer. So if this looks like your type of game, make sure to check it out before July 28th while on sale for just $1.99, marked down 83%. Alright folks, and here are some games that are still on sale from previous episodes. Alright folks, and that's going to wrap this one up. Please remember to hit that bell if you've already been a part of our family here at the channel so you don't miss any future videos. And please, if this was your first time and you enjoyed yourself, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Not only will you get great deals each week, but you'll also be entered in for one of our eShop giveaways that we do each week as well. Just make sure to be subbed to the channel, drop a like on the video, and write us a comment down below so we can find your name and put you onto our list. Thank you everyone, either way, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us today. Please stay safe out there, and we'll let Little Man take us on home.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!